Wake up. You are losing.
Is what they look like on the surface. Take this for example. Gavin Newsom, the so-called golden boy of the Democratic Party, looked like he was cruising on a wave of social media praise. But behind the gloss, the story takes a
What do you think of Gavin Newsom? Do you think he's going to be your nominee in 2028?
I have no idea if he's going to be our nominee in 2028. I do know that he is exposing Donald Trump's playbook by using it against him, and I think it's pretty fun to see the MAGA meltdown over it.
You think so, though? Like,
Yes.
You think it's working?
I see endless people, candidly including you, responding directly to all of this stuff. I see people on Fox News saying that he should put down his Twitter account, that leaders should not be doing this. You could just find and replace Gavin Newsom and put in Donald Trump, and it would be the same thing, which is exactly what Gavin Newsom is doing. He is exposing Donald Trump's play.
His online engagement was through the roof. But here's the kicker: when the polls came in, it was like he slammed into a brick wall. Total disconnect. That gap between perception and reality is exactly what we're digging into today. And hey, if you're into cutting through the noise and getting to the real story, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out and keeps you in the loop with all the latest deep dives. On the surface, Gavin Newsom looked like he was basking in a wave of online glory. But peel back that shiny layer, and the picture isn't nearly as flattering. His favorability among voters is slipping fast. What looks like momentum online is hiding a serious freefall in reality. The polling tells the real story. Numbers are rolling in, and they're not pretty. Newsom's favorability has dropped sharply, leaving him underwater with critical groups like independents and young voters. This isn't just a minor dip in popularity, it's a major red flag for the so-called golden boy of the Democrats.
The Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh my goodness gracious. What are we talking about here in terms of big party registration changes in the key swing states? Let's look at the key 4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005. In all 4 of these key battleground states, we go out to the Southwest. Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century. It probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point this century, at least as far as I could find. Now, what types of gains are we talking about here for the Republican Party? Well, let's compare it to this point during the first Trump administration all the way back in 2017. Look at this. The Republican Party gains in party registration compared to this point back in 2017 during the Trump first administration. In Arizona, you got a Republican gain of 3 points. Okay, how about Nevada? Up the hill we go, even though we're sticking in the Southwest, a gain of 6 points. How about, again, we come to the East Coast, North Carolina, a gain of 8 points for the Republicans. And in the Keystone State, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, again, we're talking about a gain of 8 points. My goodness gracious, for Republicans, they are converting old former Democrats to their side of the ledger, as well as picking up new voters, registering new voters, and it absolutely paid off for them back in.
Quotes as like a shockwave rippling through what many thought was solid ground. The polls tell a story that's hard to ignore. Gavin Newsom's favorability is sitting at just 36%, which is hardly impressive for someone once pegged as a frontrunner for the 2028 election. Voters are beginning to see past the social media sparkle and focus instead on the real-world impact of his policies. Politics today is a battlefield of perception versus reality, and Newsom is learning the hard way that perception alone doesn't always translate into votes. Looking closer at the demographics, the numbers are even more revealing. Newsom's struggles aren't just with conservatives. Those losses were expected, but he's losing ground with his own party as well. Both men and women are showing a noticeable drop in support. Analysts suggest he's been trying to mirror Trump's playbook by dominating the social media spotlight. But the strategy hasn't delivered where it matters most. At the polls, the fallout from this shift is starting to ripple through the Democratic Party itself. Registered voter numbers are sliding, raising alarms about deeper issues within the base. For a party already facing challenges ahead, Newsom's fading favorability isn't just his problem, it's becoming a...
Democrats are losing registered voters.
Most of that activity, as I understand it, has occurred in Florida and Texas. At the end of the day, it's also going to be important for us to continue to make clear to the American people what we stand for as Democrats. We believe in a strong floor and no ceiling. In this country, you work hard, you play by the rules. There should be no ceiling as to what success you can accomplish for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your grandchildren, and your...
This isn't just about Gavin Newsom, it's about the Democratic Party as a whole. The decline we're seeing is bleeding into their broader influence, especially in states where they once held firm control. If this trend continues, 2028 may not look anything like what party leaders are hoping for. Historical data makes it clear Democrats are facing a real downturn. Losing millions of registered voters across the country isn't something you just brush aside. Those are real people, real votes, slipping away. For Newsom personally, the impact is undeniable. His reputation has taken a hit, and rebuilding trust is no small task. Politics is like shifting sand, one wrong step and you're sinking fast. His redistricting push was meant to showcase strong leadership, but instead, it backfired, pushing him further into unfavorable territory. Social media may paint a picture of momentum, but reality tells another story. Voters are asking if he has the ability to rally a broad, diverse coalition, the kind that past winning candidates managed to pull together. At the end of the day, it's not hashtags or viral clips that decide elections, it's registered voters showing up and casting ballots. So, what comes next? For Newsom, it's clear he has to expand his appeal beyond the social media crowd if he wants to gain real traction. For the Democrats, a wider strategy is needed to stop the downward spiral. Without a genuine reconnection with voters, the road ahead could be rough. These numbers don't lie, they paint a picture of a party in desperate need of recalibration. And honestly, we're only scratching the surface here. Watching how this all unfolds is going to be nothing short of fascinating. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think these numbers will actually translate into real political consequences for Newsom and the Democrats? Or is this just another political hiccup that will fade with time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to see where you stand on this roller coaster of political upheaval.